I'm not at CPAC. Apparently, I'm the only one that's not at CPAC, but I'm not. I'm here in studio and have the time of my life. Got a little rain going on. It's climate change, more climate change happening, and the Democrats having a lot of trouble with gender. A lot of gender trouble. The Democrats.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 9. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. Overnight, the Senate passed a bill to fund most of the Department of Homeland Security.
The 42-day partial government shutdown began in mid-February amid Democrats' insistence on reforms to the Trump administration's immigration enforcement and deportation actions. The stalled funding has left TSA workers unpaid for weeks, which has resulted in hundreds of them leaving the job or not coming to work, and hours-long security screening line waits for travelers at airports across the country. President Trump said Thursday he would sign an emergency order to pay TSA workers, but it won't be needed if the funding passes the House and becomes law. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Virginia Senator Mark Warner, the top Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee, continues to blast the president over the war.
We are approaching a month into the war with Iran.
Warner sounding the alarm of crisis declared by the International Energy Agency.
Worse than when many of these air bases shut down oil to America in the early 70s. We saw those long lines.
And objecting to the easing of Russian oil sanctions by the White House.
Our adversary against our ally Ukraine, we put $10 billion into Putin's pocket.
Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
The drug suspect is dead, and 2 Prince George's County police officers are injured after a traffic stop in Hyattsville last night, as one officer questioned the suspect outside of the car. The other was in the car searching for evidence, including a laundry bag that was filled with pot. At some point, the suspect jumped back behind the wheel and took off, with one officer half in and half out of the car.
The vehicle drove about 150 yards. During the course of that 150 yards, we do know that the lieutenant discharged his firearm. The suspect was struck, and the accident occurred.
Police Chief George Nader, both officers were injured. The suspect died at the hospital. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers are used to being negatively received in places. Prince George's County schools are taking that icy reception to ice to a new level.
The district will now authorize schools to shelter in place in case immigration officers are on school property at any time. They also added an amendment to allow the principals to use their professional judgment to call for a shelter in place if immigration operations are happening within 1,000 feet of school property. PGCPS will also provide resources to families about safety planning and legal guidance.
7 News' Jasmine Stiles. Montgomery County schools are moving ahead with a plan to move the population of Wooten High School in Rockville to a new site in Gaithersburg over the objection of parents.
Only one board member voted against the boundary change, which will have Wooten kids move to a high school being built in Crown Farm. Mom Elisa Sahobic with the Save Wooten group told WMAL.
How much more money is it going to cost to bus all these kids around to go to Wooten that's not centrally located?
When Superintendent Thomas Taylor pitched the plan, he said,
I'm trying to balance our available resources across the county.
He said it would be prohibitively expensive to fix safety issues at Wooten. Heather Curtis on WMAL and WMAL.com.
With a healthy financial picture mid-year, Metro has ideas to improve your commute.
Metro is on budget. Total revenue is $27 million over budget, led by strong rail passenger revenue and parking revenues.
WMATA Executive Vice President and CFO Dave Rickard. Why the good news?
We've had a number of successes, including the launch of Tap Ride Go and Metro Bus, numerous bus and Metro Rail improvements.
Based on Budget Health, GM Randy Clark is hoping to cut the wait time between trains on weekdays along the orange, silver, and blue line by 2 minutes and provide more frequent late-night trains along the red. After the board considers those proposals, the FY27 budget could be approved April 23rd. Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Dow futures down 175 points. NASDAQ futures down 167. Traffic and weather next.
Not planning today can cost you tomorrow. Stop worrying and start planning with Trajan Wealth. Contact Trajan today at 202-750-3300 or go to TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Prime Monday delivery is fast. How fast are we talking? We're talking game night delivered by tomorrow night fast. So we can win fast. Cards fast, puzzles fast, team games at your door on a date fast. Doesn't matter what the game is, we will dominate fast. We're talking game over, you win fast. Fast Monday delivery for the win. It's on Prime.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people We wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Start your morning at McDonald's and mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg McMuffin, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Get any two for just $5 and pair it with $1.99 any size iced coffee. Save time and order ahead in the app. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Amy Whitten in the Hayde Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Beltway Inner Loop before Braddock Road, past 236, still with the volume delays. Outer Loop jammed into Silver Spring from 95, and leaving New Carrollton on the Inner Loop slows off and on past Central Avenue. Rain and road spray definitely a factor. 270, still seeing those slowdowns to get you past 109. No issues beyond that down to the Beltway. Inside the Beltway, 66 East, looking good to the Teddy Roosevelt Bridge. Not seeing much of any delays on the George Washington Parkway south of the Spout Run Parkway, looking good. Catch a break there this morning. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
We'll continue to see rain moving in as we push through this morning and into the afternoon before ending. Now, highs will occur this morning near 65 and then falling into the 50s. Tonight we'll drop to 35 outside the Beltway. We'll be a little bit colder. Saturday, sunshine upper 40s. Sunday, sunshine near 60. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagicon, WMAL.
64 degrees at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
President Trump said yesterday that he may call up the National Guard to help with airport security. Dude, just fund the TSA. You're running out of people to send. For real. This time next week, we're going to have Melania yelling, everything in the bin. Laptops need to be out. No belt is fine.
Racist slurs from the racist Democrat plantation owners. What are we running? So the Democrats shut the government down, and then their propaganda apparatus, they come up with this lame-brained, low IQ, not funny Democrat propaganda. Because that's who they are, it's what they do. And they're cross-dressers, and they want men stealing women's trophies and medals at the Olympics. But now it has apparently been decided the Democrats are going to fight this to the death. They're going to scratch and claw their way through this one. The Olympics said that men will not be competing against women just because they say they're women. That's, in America, we call them Democrats. They're all cross-dressers now. And the whole gender thing, they're really twisted around their own axle again over their gender confusion. Joe Biden picked a judge to be on the Supreme Court. She's there now. She doesn't know what a woman is because she's not a biologist. She's dumb, and she's been corrupted by political zealots and all that stuff. But I've got the lady who's the head of the Olympic Committee, the International Olympic Committee. And I show this about men not being allowed to compete as women because they're pretending to be women, what with their mental illness and everything like that. Pretty amazing stuff, I've got to say. And that's not it, because there is more gender confusion from the Democrats today. They've got a lot of issues, lots and lots of issues. But we'll start with that. And then we got Bob Costas. Remember Bob Costas? I have Bob Costas' number in my cell phone. Maybe I'll explain why as we go through that. I've never met him in person, but I have his number in my cell phone. And perhaps I might have explained why once before here at the radio, but that was a long time ago. So we've got transgender women athletes banned from Olympics. And the female events in the Olympics, according to the International Olympic Committee. Oh no! And the Democrats, they're panicking and they're crying and they're scratching their own eyes out, and they're really mentally ill. Extraordinary stuff. White House applauds ban on transgender women in women's Olympic events. I think that's a good idea, and the Democrats very, very upset about that. They don't like that at all. And what do you hear with Bob Costas? You know, the old sports guy, Bob Costas. And everybody always liked Bob Costas. He was always just great. And he was being interviewed on CNN. His buddies on CNN interviewing some guy that nobody's ever heard of. I think everybody was fired at CNN, so they got some guy off the sidewalk to come in and host the show. talking about Costa. Hey, what do you think about this men who say they're women stealing women's trophies and stealing everything that they had worked for all those years? And a little back and forth with Costas. Pretty good stuff. I've got to say. So we got that going. And the Democrats, they've been busy, of course. We got in New York City, an 83-year-old career Air Force pilot dies. 83 years old, dies after he was thrown in front of a New York City subway train and was severely wounded. He went to the hospital and he spent several days there. The 83-year-old career Air Force guy, and he died in the hospital. And it turns out, you listen to it, you're going to be shocked. I know you're not going to believe this. It's an illegal alien who's now been charged with his murder. And the reason that an illegal alien threw the 83-year-old career Air Force veteran in front of a subway train and murdered him is because of Democrats. It's because of the Democrat Party. And that's the actual answer. If you're, wow, how could something like this happen? Well, the filthy, violent, bloodthirsty, murderous left, and don't kid yourself, they're not liberals, they're the left. They love murder, they love killing people. They like illegal aliens that shoot 18-year-old girls in the head and murder them while walking on the beach in Chicago. Remember when the Democrats in New York ganged up on, what's his name, Daniel Penny, because Daniel Penny fought off an insane, mentally ill, crazed Democrat on a subway train, and the Democrats tried to lynch Daniel Penny. They wanted to put him in prison forever. They wanted to hang him by the neck until dead because they're more like Iran than Iran is. They're certainly more like Iran than they're like the party of John F. Kennedy. But they love murder. More Democrats, more murder. More illegal aliens, more murder. I mean, I'm beginning to think that like every illegal alien is going to murder someone eventually, and that could mean millions of murders. And the Democrats, they're big advocates of more murder and more illegal aliens and more gang members and all that. Yeah. Veteran 83 allegedly shoved onto New York City subway tracks. Well, here's the video. You can allege it all you want. Dies from injuries. Illegal migrant charged with murder. Democrats oppose. It's the racism of the American. It's our fault that he's a murderer. The Department of Homeland Security called the alleged attacker Bayron Posada Hernandez a serial criminal with 15 prior charges. 15 prior arrest charges. The feds have urged New York not to release him. And they're like, hey, he's a murderer. He's an illegal alien. He's got 15, now I guess 16 arrests. And the Democrats are going to let him go if they can. They love more murder because they don't like people. They're not really people. Know what I mean? But they say they're people that only if they're cannibals, only if they actually eat the flesh of other people. Just extraordinary stuff. Yes, sir. And all kinds of Democrats, brother and sister indicted in connection with explosive device found outside MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa. MacDill, where you have the U.S. Central Command is headquartered there, and the U.S. Special Operations Command is headquartered there. And Democrats, they send their brother and sister, their boy and girl, two siblings charged after improvised explosive device. That's an IED. They're making IEDs. Found outside of MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa, Florida. I nearly went to work there when I left CNN for the Special Operations Command doing a thing, but then I didn't because of the New York Times. So the federal prosecutors announced on Thursday, that was yesterday, indictments have been unsealed, charging Alan Zheng, and Marianne Zheng, that's Z-H-E-N-G, like the Chinese spelling, in connection with the device. Keep in mind, we had those two Muslims in New York with their improvised explosive devices throwing their bombs at pro-American marchers, and the Democrats applauded the IED makers, the Muslim terrorists, Allahu Akbar, as they say at Democrat Party meetings, and then they self-immolate or detonate themselves. Isn't that amazing? So they were found at the base visitor center March 16th. FBI Cash Patel said, Alan, and it's
too fucking bad.
Alan Zheng.
Too motherfucking bad. What are you going to do about it, boy?
The Democrats let him go Alan Zhang, IED at military base. Oh, we should let him go. What's the worst thing that could happen? So just amazing. He fled to China, where he remains, and Marianne Zhang is in custody and has been charged with an accessory and with evidence tampering. She said her initial appearance before a judge on Thursday morning. Oh, I didn't do nothing. Now, the FBI, working with our partners, will continue pursuing all those responsible to ensure they're brought to justice no matter where they are. I remember no one's above the law. That's a big joke line that Democrats tell. I was thinking about making a T-shirt that says no one's above the law with ha, 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 ha beneath that no one's above the law, because a lot of corrupt people, Democrats, are above the law, or they're beside the law, perhaps they're beneath the law. I think that could be the solution for the Democrats. They might be beneath the law rather than being above the law. We've got a Democrat candidate for the House of Representatives posting an ad on the internet attacking centrist Democrats, whatever those are. They don't exist. And the things that she says about the Democrats, her fellow Democrats, it's full of vulgar language, coarse language, and then vulgar language, some of which cannot be used over the airwaves because of FCC regulation. But it's in Illinois, you got the lieutenant governor in Illinois who's running for the Senate, and she's got an ad with disgruntled, mentally ill, obese women saying, "Beep Trump," to the camera over and over again. Beep Trump. And they just say, different women say it over and over again. Beep Trump. And they're cursing, right? And in this ad, just online, also just cursing up a storm and fillet Israel. Fillet Israel is the, and she like, oh, these Democrats, some of them are not anti-Semitic enough. They probably wouldn't even firebomb the Jews' house. The Democrat Party should be wearing armbands. They really should. Just a minute. And speaking of Democrats, in Maryland, the state of Maryland, very close to where I sit right now, Democrats push for taxpayer-funded, because it's got to be taxpayer-funded, otherwise it's not communist and mentally ill and stupid. Maryland Democrats push for taxpayer-funded tampons in men's bathrooms. And then the debate became, which size? Which size? Because you had 4 different sizes. And which side? Do men need larger tampons than women? They put them in there for like 9mm bullet holes in Baltimore. Hey, we're all shooting each other now. Anybody have a tampon? Democrats shouldn't be allowed to roam freely in public. Isn't that amazing? And Maryland Democrats mocked. Another headline from Fox News, this one. Maryland Democrats mocked for prioritizing tampons in men's bathrooms amid state deficit. They're running a deficit, and then you wonder why. It's very low IQ, mentally ill, sexual deviant, gender dysphoria. They really don't know what's going on in the world. We got a Supreme Court justice who's a woman that doesn't know what a woman is. The Democrat Party is mentally ill. It looks like every member of the Democrat Party is mentally ill. And they're fighting for men to compete as women in the Olympics at the same time that they're putting tampons in men's bathrooms paid for by the taxpayers all across Maryland if the Democrats get their way. Because, just extraordinary stuff. Democrats are very upset. They might have to firebomb something or maybe self-immolate. Trump's Treasury Department, it's Trump's Treasury Department, it's not the Treasury Department, it's Trump's Treasury Department, is adding his signature to all U.S. currency. First time using a sitting president's name. First time using a sitting president's name. I said, Barack Obama his signature is on the currency in Iran, interestingly enough, because they love him so much. In Israel, they name things after Donald Trump. They've got what do they call them, development or whatever, the Donald Trump this and the Donald Trump road and Donald Trump that. I think in Iran, they've got Barack Hussein Obama Highway and Barack Hussein Obama Middle School, and it's all paid for with the billions of dollars that Barack Obama gave the Islamic Revolution in Tehran, because Barack Obama is kind of a terrorist. You know what I'm talking about here, kind of a terrorist like that. Yes, sir. And this is pretty crazy. Pentagon they're weighing it, sending 10,000 more combat troops to the Middle East. That's there's a war going on there with Iran and Persia. and all that stuff. And the Pentagon looking at sending 10,000 more ground troops. We have Marine Expeditionary Unit and Special Operations capable. We've got lots of military forces in the region. Talking about sending 10,000 more, and these are ground troops, Army troops, and that is kind of eyebrow raising. I've got to say, what exactly is our plan here? What's the stated goal, and at what point do we say, okay, success is ours, and we can start ratcheting down? When does that happen? Because that would be good. I think that would be good. Yes, sir. And what is this? TMZ. TMZ, they cover, entertainment news. What is entertainment news anyway? It seems to me that Democrats provide me with plenty of entertainment news every day. TMZ on the hunt for photos of politicians on vacation as TSA officers suffer. Good for TMZ. Maybe the New York Times should be doing that. Hey, look, the Democrats shut down the government, and now they're at the beach having margaritas with illegal alien hookers. And the Democrats, they love their illegal aliens. But good, TMZ should get photos of members of Congress on vacation partying while they have the government shut down. And actually last night, early this morning, I think it was about 2:30 a.m. Eastern time, the Senate approved a funding deal, but it doesn't fund ICE or Customs and Border Protection. Those are big wins for the Democrats because they're not in favor of enforcing the laws. They're in favor of open borders. They're in favor of more illegal aliens, murdering more 18-year-old girls by shooting them in the head, and throwing 83-year-old Air Force veterans onto the train tracks in the New York City subway system. The Democrats insist that we have more of that. And so they agreed, okay, we'll fund the stuff we want to fund, but we're not going to fund ICE, Customs and Border Protection. And then they started yelling in Spanish, and they shot a bunch of people and stole a car, the Democrats. Then they looted a drugstore. The Democrat Party is a criminal organization. We are at 888-630-9625.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hayde Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. So watch for the Beltway slowdowns into Silver Spring, outer loop between New Hampshire and Georgia Avenues, inner loop coming out of New Carrollton to get you past Central Avenue. We've cleared out to the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. 395 northbound slowest stretches across the inbound 14th Street Bridge. Rain and road spray definitely a factor for many, so take it easy. 95 in the southbound direction south of Lorton. Volume delays increasing to get you past 123 into Woodbridge. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Scattered showers today with temperatures dropping through the 40s, clearing skies overnight, low 32.
Prime one-day delivery is fast. How fast are we talking? We're talking yoga mats and fitness trackers delivered so fast you can kick off your routine tomorrow fast. We're talking weights at your door without really waiting fast. Water bottles and hydration backpacks fast and fast. Resistance bands faster than you can say feel the burn fast. More jump ropes just a hop, skip, and a jump away, aka fast. Whew. That was actually a good workout fast. Fast one-day delivery for all things fitness. It's on Prime.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Start your morning at McDonald's and mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg McMuffin, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Get any two for just $5 and pair it with $1.99 any size iced coffee. Save time and order ahead in the app. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is built for March. The tournament is unexpected. Rewards are guaranteed. DraftKings Sportsbook is delivering the most generous rewards in the market. With DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're not betting what might happen, you're betting what's happening. New to DraftKings? At just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code HEART. That's code HEART to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets bets instantly in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Start your morning at McDonald's and mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg McMuffin, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Get any two for just $5 and pair it with $1.99 any size iced coffee. Save time and order ahead in the app. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
It's time to wake up to a chance to win. The Mega Millions jackpot is rising, so get a stretch in, pour yourself a cup of joe, and head to your favorite New York lottery retailer to seize the day. It's your chance to win the $65 million jackpot. Good morning and good luck, New York. Please play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call the Hope line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
Well, son, I think so, too. Now, have you thought about how you're going to finance it?
Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
First thing each morning, O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor. Weekday mornings from 5 to 9 on WMAL.
And Democrats are furious because President Trump is going to put his signature on currency, American currency, not Iranian currency, where they already have Barack Hussein Obama's face and signature on their currency, because they love Barack Obama so much. You know, the Islamic Revolution, the mullahs, the Ayatollah, and we're not so sure about the Gayatollah, the new Gayatollah. But this is a funny move by President Trump. And now the internet has taken $100 bills and put President Trump's head on the $100 bill, right? No Ben Franklin. They got Donald Trump's head on it. Now, that's not real. That's just an internet fake as far as we can tell. But they are putting President Trump's signature on the $100 bill. And Michael Piercy and I were laughing about this morning, saying that he's just goading them, isn't he? He's just poking the idiot. It's not a bear. It's more of an idiot. It's like the Soviet bear, the Democrat Party. But he's poking the Democrats. Now they're going to have to burn their currency. Now they're going to have to burn their $100 bills. And it'd be hilarious if he put his own head, his own face, Donald Trump's face, on the $100 bill, because then the Democrats, you know, they roll up their $100 bill, they do their lines of cocaine and methamphetamine, and then they'd have to burn their own. No, it's a Trump $100 bill, and they'd have to set it on fire. They'd have to burn it. And that would be funny if the idiot Democrats were, they're going nuts. Trump signature to appear on U.S. currency, Treasury says, ending 165-year tradition. It's a tradition of having the signature of the Treasury Secretary on the currency, which if you look at the money in your pocket right now, you'll see you got the Treasury Secretary and the Treasurer, the Secretary of the Treasury and the Treasurer, two signatures. And now I guess Trump says, hey, I'm going to put my name on the money, too. I'm going to put my name on the money. And he should. You know, I like the Ben Franklin head on the $100 bill, but it would be hilarious to have a series of Trump $100 bills.
This is the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Still watch for beltway delays in the Silver Spring outer loop between New Hampshire and Georgia Avenue. Inner loop at the exit for 95. That's real crash activity. Delays forming at the exit for New Hampshire Avenue on the inner loop side. Virginia, no late problems on 66 or 95 northbound heading toward the beltway. Southbound 95 slowing into Woodridge. 395 north heavy across the 14th Street Bridge onto the freeway. DC 295 still watch for volume delays each direction heading toward Pennsylvania Avenue. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Scattered showers today with temperatures dropping through the 40s, clearing skies overnight, low 32.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. True Vitality Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
True Vitality Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at True Vitality Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 703-637-1222. 703-637-1222. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 703-637-1222.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Start your morning at McDonald's and mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg McMuffin, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Get any two for just $5 and pair it with $1.99 any size iced coffee. Save time and order ahead in the app. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is built for March. The tournament is unexpected. Rewards are guaranteed. DraftKings Sportsbook is delivering the most generous rewards in the market. With DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're not betting what might happen, you're betting what's happening. New to DraftKings? Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code HEART. That's code HEART to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets instantly, in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
The Mega Millions jackpot is getting mega huge. Head to your favorite New York Lottery retailer and grab a ticket today for your chance at a massive win. Currently over $50 million. Good luck, New York. Please play responsibly.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
Well, son, I think so too. Now, have you thought about how you're going to finance it?
Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Here's Rich Robertson with a CES IT Service Tech Tip.
Hi. For over 30 years, I have received multiple calls from CEOs that go like this. Rich, we're terminating our IT team at 5 o'clock. Can you help us? Or it's an IT director asking, hey, we lost a tech and we can't find a good replacement. Can you fill the gap? Of course we can. What they were not expecting is that our cost of IT services is only half. That's right, half of what they were paying for the previous IT staff. Our managed and co-managed services cost less, and we bring along a high level of advanced cybersecurity expertise.
Visit CESITservice.com to schedule a quick 15-minute call or call 301-620-1580. CES IT Service is your secure network to quality IT service. CESITservice.com or call 301-620-1580. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
All right, we have returned. Yeah, I'll just say we were just talking about it. Jasmine and I were just talking about it. Decided President Trump should put his face on the $2 bill, put on the $2 bill, and the Democrats they'd have to burn their money. It'd be more fun to watch them burn their $100 bills, of course, because they're who they are, cross-dressing mental cases. Smids. Let's. Are they going to have the SMID, severely mentally ill Democrats, smart? Yeah, the SMID smolder on the mall. Yeah, where they're going. I think that'd be good. And with that, let's go to the telephones, Michael. We have lots of audio for you and lots of crazy stories because the Democrats, they're really crazy about ICE, about immigration and customs enforcement, because they know that if they do everything they can for illegal aliens, that more Americans will be murdered. And the Democrats like that. Normally, we have to depend on the Democrats to murder everybody in the United States. Maybe the workload had gotten to be a bit too much for them. So they say, hey, we're exhausted from all these murders. What are we going to do? Well, let's open our borders. And we can wave in millions of gang members who will come here and murder innocent people, 18-year-old girls who are freshmen in college, and 83-year-old Air Force veterans, and we can have the illegal aliens murder them everywhere. And the guy that is now under arrest for murdering the illegal alien, who's under arrest for murdering the 83-year-old career Air Force pilot, 15 prior arrests, and the Democrats each and every time they say, let's let him go. What's the worst that could happen? I think that's the Democrat Party slogan in the 21st century. What's the worst that could happen? Then the mushroom cloud rises above everyone's head. All right, let's go to the telephones. Let's go to Matt, calling from St. Louis, Missouri. Matthew, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hey, Chris. Happy Friday in Corrupt the Vote-topia. And I think your mass self-immolation event, you're going to have to hold out for Earth Day, because this weekend it's the No Smoking's rallies. So no smoke in the air at those. But I have 2 points on the Save America Act. First one, a previous caller did make a while back, but during the Corona madness, the Dem panic, they wanted everyone to have their Jim Crovitt passport, their vaccination proof, just to go to a bar or restaurant in D.C. or a hockey game in St. Louis. So I didn't have a Jim Crovitt passport, so I didn't go to a hockey game in St. Louis. But, the Dems were perfectly happy showing that fake ID for leisure activities, but suddenly they don't want to show a real ID to vote. So, double standards, right? If it weren't for double standards. And then second point, one of their complaints is that women who get married, change their name, it doesn't match their birth certificate, and they won't be able to figure out how to register to vote because they're too stupid, which is misogynistic, but, it's probably the way they feel. But I think it also might be a cover story for their real concern, and that's when their stands become Loretta's, and then not only their name doesn't match their birth certificate, but their gender doesn't, so they really won't be able to figure out how to go register to vote, and they don't want to lose out on those voters. But if they can't register to vote, they'll just have to go shoot up a school or a nightclub or something.
The usual, revert to form. the standard stuff for the Democrat Party. Yeah, honestly, we have one of our two major political parties is defined by their many mental illnesses. And it's not just the gender dysphoria and men competing as women in the Olympics that they'll fight for, but they're mentally ill. And their heroes are Luigi Mangione, who assassinated a CEO on a sidewalk in New York. Their heroes are Renee Good, who was obstructing federal law enforcement, gathering up illegal alien child rapists. And Renee Good had her car turned sideways in the middle of the road, was ordered by multiple police to get out of her vehicle. She refused, and then she put it in gear, punched it, and crashed into a federal agent, and she was shot. And so the Democrat Party made her the hero. George Floyd is the hero of the Democrat Party. And Michael Brown, hands up, don't shoot. The police officers that enforce the law are the villains in Democrat world, and the criminals are the heroes in Democrat world, because they're all violently, criminally insane, and mentally ill. What's up with that? Huh?
The party without a conscience, I guess.
It is extraordinary. I got to tell you, and also, Matt, tomorrow they're having more No Kings rallies across the country. Tomorrow, March 28th, they've got across the country. Biggest here's their own website, the nokings.org. It's always .org. March 28th will be the biggest protest in U.S. history. No, it won't. They're lying. They lie. Just everything is a lie. Every breath they take contains a lie. Find your local No Kings event to make it clear that America rejects the regime's brutality at home. This is the regime is the United States government, not Iran or something. And one of the ironies here, Matt, is that they actually support the Islamic revolution in Tehran over the United States of America. Isn't that amazing? And I love this. They actually support the King of Denmark, King Friedrich X. Friedrich X. I like to call him Freddie X. Freddie X, because they put an X after that. That's the Roman numeral for 10. Democrats trying to follow along. Yes, and they actually support the King of Denmark. Say, oh yeah, the colonial holding of Denmark, the monarchy, an actual literal modern monarchy, Denmark in Europe, with white people sitting atop, and they own Greenland as a colonial holding. And the Democrats will fight hammer and nail to protect the king's right to hold on to Greenland. And they're fighting on behalf of the illegitimate regime the criminal regime in Tehran, in Iran. The Democrats are fighting for them. And they say no kings, and they say that we are the kings, that Donald Trump is the king that they're opposing, right, Matthew? While they're supporting an actual European king and their colonial holding of Greenland, and they're defending the Islamic revolution in Iran. There's something terribly wrong with these cross-dressers, isn't there?
There really is. And, I saw an example of that authoritarian brutality that they're protesting. That ICE agent, I think it was in Houston in the airport, who saved the 1-year-old.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing they want to stop.
It really is, because they wanted to harvest the organs of that 1-year-old. That's the thing with them. They see a 1-year-old baby dying, and immediately their mind clicks. You can almost hear it from a distance. It clicks, and they're like, hey, organs. We can get the organs out of this. And you're right. There was a man in the line, and it was Dallas or Houston. But the ICE agent saw a baby and a father freaking out. And the ICE agent saw the father totally freaking out with a 1-year-old baby who had fallen limp and was not breathing. And the ICE agent, who the Democrats say is not trained. He has no training. He's not trained. That's Democrats aren't even potty trained at this point, and they're like in their 60s. But isn't this amazing? So the ICE agent ran over to the man, the panicking man. Sir, stand back. Took the baby, assessed the situation, determined that the child was choking. The untrained ICE agent then gave baby Heimlich maneuver to the 1-year-old and projected its Oreo cookie or whatever it was from its little throat. And then the kid started blinking and breathing, and the father, crying, thanked the ICE agent for saving his baby's life, because the man wanted his baby to live and grow up to be a normal person and not a Democrat. Isn't that amazing? ICE agent saves life of unresponsive child in TSA line at JFK Airport. I'm sorry, it's not Texas. JFK Airport. ICE agent saved the life of a 1-year-old boy who wasn't breathing while waiting in a TSA line. The TSA line was put there by the Democrats who want the babies to die. They snuff out more than 1 million a year. They call it choice. And they do harvest their organs. They like to lie about that and say they don't, but they lie about everything. So the ICE agent saved the 1-year-old. The Democrats saw it, and they really just wanted to harvest the organs because when they see a baby dying, they think about the organ harvest, don't they?
Yes.
Pretty fucking funny, huh?
Certainly do.
Yeah, they don't like people. They're not really people, these lefties. Yeah, and the ICE agent, he should be invited to the White House for an event and a dinner, and the president should praise him and tell the story of the ICE agent being put into the airport because the Democrats shut down this and shut down that. The ICE agent saves the unresponsive 1-year-old boy's life at JFK Airport. Panic ensues in the TSA security line. Boy became unresponsive. The father in his father's arms, but the agent performed the Heimlich maneuver, and he was ultimately healthy enough to fly. They got, okay, we're going to get on the airplane now. Thank you, Mr. ICE agent. And while the Democrats are in airports screaming at them and flipping them off and being mentally ill, being Democrats, aren't they?
Hey, with TDS, Trump may outsmart them, even though it's a no smoking's rally, so they're not going to self-immolate. But if he comes out against self-immolation, that may be all they need. And we'll see a lot of smoke in the air this weekend.
That is a great thought. Why didn't I think of that, Matt? President Trump should come out and voice his opposition to self-immolation. And then the Democrats may just go up in flames all over the country because, they do the opposite of whatever Donald Trump wants because of Trump derangement syndrome. I think that's a pretty amazing idea. Yeah, in America, we have no kings. Yeah, masked secret police terrorizing our communities. This is the no kings mentally ill people. Yeah. And illegal, catastrophic war putting us in danger. What are you guys protesting? There's no kings. Now what are you talking? They're anti-ICE. They're pro-Iran, pro-Islamic revolution. Attacks on our freedom of speech. No, you guys were the ones rolling up freedom of speech until we put that to an end. Our civil rights, you don't know what those words mean. Our freedom to vote. Yeah, because no Democrat is smart enough to have a photo ID. Can't actually prove who they are. And again, you said, Matt, you got to show your ID to go to a basketball game in St. Louis. And the Democrats, I guess, wouldn't be allowed in because of their mental condition. Just extraordinary. Yeah. Tomorrow, no kings. And I think, you were saying we should have a great on Earth Day, right? Because all the self-immolations for the Democrats, I believe, started on Earth Day several years ago now, when a Democrat, was he from Colorado, Michael, drove all the way to Washington, went to the Supreme Court for Earth Day, drenched himself in gasoline on the plaza of the Supreme Court, in front of the Supreme Court, and the beautiful columned structure, and he drenched himself in gasoline and set himself on fire and killed himself on Earth Day because he's angry about people putting smoke in the air. So he set himself on fire, and then he became smoke in the air because he was also a moron from Colorado, right? And you have his name? Wynn Bruce, W-Y-N-N Bruce. Now I remember him, Wynn Bruce. And he got the ball rolling because Democrats then started self-immolating all over the place. A Democrat self-immolated and killed himself at the Israeli embassy. A Democrat woman self-immolated at the Israeli consulate in Atlanta. A man self-immolated and killed himself in front of the cameras outside of President Trump's trial at a courthouse in New York. A Democrat self-immolated at the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas, Nevada, and blew himself up in a Tesla truck and a cyber truck in front of the Trump Hotel. And the Democrats are really, they're crazier than Buddhist monks. What is up with that?
And, I think there's no kings. I think maybe the real target is Martin Luther King, because they certainly don't seem to want, content of your character versus color of your skin and all that.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Matt, thank you. Fun call. Good stuff. That is, I got to tell you, it's just they're nuts. All right, let's go to another phone call. It's Friday. Let's talk to the nice people. Let's go to Christopher calling from the once great state of California. Christopher, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hey, Chris, it's an honor being able to talk to you today. Hey, so you made a comment the other day, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday's show, where you mentioned Jose Medina, and you said, "What's up with that? What's up with the double last name?"
Uh-huh.
And in Mexico, I'm of Mexican descent.
Uh-huh.
Mexican culture, you have the two names are derivative of the father's surname. The first Medina being the father's surname, and the second one being of the mother's surname. And I started thinking about that. I'm like, man, I have never seen a name like that where it's the same. And I'm wondering, man, could he be inbred?
Yeah, married a sister like Ilhan Omar married her brother.
Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to call in and just kind of joke around with that. But anyway, love your show, and you have a good Friday, sir.
Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you. That's great. You know, I actually have relatives. I have relatives that my real name, as we say, and it's funny because I went home to look for my birth certificate and these things since we were making fun of Mika Brzezinski, who was not going to be able to vote because she can't find her birth certificate or something, and she's too dumb to. And I was looking for. I went and I found my baptismal certificate, which is kind of fun, from days after I was born, and I was Christopher Mark Orteg, and I have relatives, and since Christopher called in and mentioned this, I have my last name Orteg, and in parts of my family, the people go by Domecq Orteg, and it's kind of a double last name with a hyphen, Domecq Orteg, Domecq, famous wine family, and Orteg, Orteig, is my actual last name. And looking at my early childhood documents yesterday, where I'm Christopher Mark Orteg, and I do know, and I was thinking about the hyphenated thing, and I do know that I have relatives that go by Domecq Orteg, and that's a two last name thing. There are certain parts of the Basque territories where Domecq Orteg, a very well-known name, but not here. That's for sure. Hey, we continue to be at 888-630-9625.
Not only does Mika not know where her original birth certificate is,
You're listening to the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Heading through Dale City, crashes on Minnieville Road just east of Sprague's Road. Initially, traffic being detoured through the shopping center there, so follow police direction. Rain and road spray, definitely a factor for many. Take it easy. Beltway into College Park. Inner loop still slow to the exit for 95, where we have crash activity. Outer loop stop and go between New Hampshire and Georgia Avenue. Out of Jessup, southbound BW Parkway slows to the crash before the exit for Route 32. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Scattered showers today with temperatures dropping through the 40s. Clearing skies overnight, low 32.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for
Webster
like
Merriam
F-150
Dictionary.
XLT. Yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy Truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
It's Vince for Valor Roofing. This winter, don't wait for a leak to force your hand. If you've noticed water spots, damaged shingles, or granulars in the gutters, call Valor Roofing now. I've seen their work in person, and trust me,
It's
Valor
fucking
is the
hilarious.
best. This week only, save huge.
What's the matter,
on the new
Randy?
Valor
Are you
Roof
mad,
with
Randy?
50% off
Good. I
materials
hope
and
you're
no
good
interest
mad, you
until
fat fucker.
2027. Plus, tell them Vince sent you for extra WMAL listener savings. Call Valor at 833-83-VALOR or valorhome.com.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast. right before it ends.
Start your morning at McDonald's and mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg McMuffin, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Get any two for just $5 and pair it with $1.99 any size iced coffee. Save time and order ahead in the app. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Imagine having complete clarity about your health, not just test results, but a clear plan built around you. Today, body scans and lab tests are easy to access, but true peace of mind comes from understanding what they mean and what to do next.
At Princeton Longevity Center, we go beyond testing to deliver clarity, strategy, and physician-led care designed to help protect and extend your life.
Our patients work directly with board-certified physicians specializing in preventive and longevity medicine, not algorithms, not generic reports.
But real doctors who understand your history, your risks, and your goals.
Yes, we use advanced imaging and comprehensive diagnostics.
But what truly matters is what comes next.
We interpret the results,
Connect the dots, and deliver a physician-led, personalized plan you can act on with confidence.
because information alone doesn't change outcomes.
Insight does.
At Princeton Longevity Center, your care doesn't end with a test.
It begins there.
Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com. That's 888-8000-PLC.
Adam Devine here. When you see the Children's Miracle Network balloon at your local store, restaurant, or gas station, your donation provides crucial funds for local children's hospitals. Hospitals that provide life-changing care for all kids. Learn more at cmn.org.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is built for March. The tournament is unexpected. Rewards are guaranteed. DraftKings Sportsbook is delivering the most generous rewards in the market. With DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're not betting what might happen, you're betting what's happening. New to DraftKings? Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code HEART. That's code HEART to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets instantly in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
WMAL, making sense of social media because big tech can't be trusted. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
So the Democrats in the New York Times, they're very upset. At the Pentagon, they discovered that on a promotion list of hundreds and hundreds of colonels, that 4 names have been stricken from the list. 2 of them are black officers. 2 of them are female officers. Therefore, Trump is a racist and Trump is a sexist. And Trump himself apparently in charge of the promotion list at the Pentagon because he's got a lot of free time. And the New York Times found a person who said, Trump doesn't want to be seen standing next to a black officer. And that's what the New York Times is reporting, because there's an idiot civil war. It's the civil war for idiots, and the New York Times is part of it. All right, let's go to the teletrons. I want to get more into that because it's so mental. Let's go to Tony calling from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Tony, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Chris, thank you very much for taking my call.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
I'm calling. I hate to say it, but I'm calling with a complaint about these Republicans.
Okay, that's fair.
It's just so frustrating that so many of them are so flummoxed, so tongue-tied by the Democrats' argument that Iran was not an immediate threat. And the thing is, these arguments they're all based on a false implicit premise, and the premise is implicit because it is so obviously false that an act of war is justified only by an imminent threat, and that's just crazy. If you actually conducted a policy based on the idea that an act of war or an attack should always be based on tactical desperation rather than on some strategic calculation, and it would be national suicide.
Well, I got to tell you, I don't. What does imminent mean when you're talking the Islamic Revolution and nuclear weapons? What?
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 10. Good morning. I'm John Matthews. The House meets at this hour, presumably to take up the Senate's bill that partially funds DHS.
Democrats, they did not get some of the ICE reforms that they asked for. Republicans did not get full DHS funding in this. So, ICE is left out and Border Patrol is as well. Now, John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, he said that this was not about getting people necessarily to support the bill. His charge last night was really to make sure that there weren't objections when they moved this on the Senate floor about 2:12 this morning. There are only so many off-ramps in Congress, and lawmakers saw this one coming down the highway, and they did not want to miss that one. This is why the Senate has left town. This is a jam job for the House of Representatives. Either the House will take this or leave this.
Fox News' Chad Pergram. Getting paid is not yet a done deal for TSA employees, and you can tell at some airports in Atlanta.
Hopefully some relief will come soon. We will see if that happens. The lines at this hour still bad. We've been talking to travelers, and Mark, can you tell our viewers just how long you've been waiting in line, and were you expecting this craziness?
It's a small problem compared to the TSA folks who aren't getting paid, and this is about politics. Unfortunately, the Democrats are using leverage to try to control the conduct of ICE instead of worrying about paying these poor TSA agents.
A lot of people we've been talking to just hoping for some relief in sight.
Fox News' Madison Scarpino. TSA lines are about 2 hours long right now at BWI, a half hour or so at Dulles, just a few minutes at Reagan. Shelter-in-place procedures at schools usually center around unknown or physical threats, but there's a new enemy in Prince George's County schools, ICE.
So the district has authorized schools to shelter in place if immigration officers are spotted on school grounds. It also says principals can use their professional judgment to call for a shelter in place order. The interim superintendent, Dr. Sean Joseph, says ICE is causing a culture of fear among parents, students, and staff.
7 News' Adam Longo. A traffic stop in Hyattsville turned deadly after police turned up a laundry bag filled with marijuana in the suspect's car.
One officer was inside the car searching it while the suspect was talking to another officer outside the car. At some point, they claimed that the suspect jumped back into the car and tried to take off. One of the officers still inside the vehicle. One of the officers fired his weapon, shooting the driver, who later died from those injuries. Both officers were also hurt, one significantly, we are told, from being dragged, and another was struck by the vehicle.
7 News' Scott Thuman. We now have a new definition for the word chutzpah in D.C.
A woman who was squatting in an Airbnb for nearly a year is now suing the homeowner months after a judge ordered her eviction. So Shadija Romero says $500,000 worth of luxury items have gone missing, including dozens of designer handbags. In December, a judge sided with the homeowner, allowing them to evict Romero.
7 News' Adam Longo. Romero had owed the homeowner more than $50,000 in back rent at the time of her eviction. Checking your money, the Dow is down 420 points at this hour. The NASDAQ down 263. The Dow now in correction territory as Wall Street's not buying the president's take right now on Iran. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
Hi, I'm Adam Devine, Chief Fundraiser for Children's Miracle Network. No. I said more fun. When I was a kid, at Children's Miracle Network Hospital helped me get back on my feet, literally. So trust me when I say that these places aren't just hospitals. They are hope factories. Children's Miracle Network is hospitals, programs, partners, and donors like you. Join us in making big change for all kids. Visit us online at cmn.org.
Prime one-day delivery is fast. How fast we talking? We're talking tissues and hot tea fast. Feel better meds fast. Relievers your door fast. So you can actually breathe out of both nostrils fast. Like I just ordered and it's already here fast. Fast one-day delivery to feel better sooner. It's on Prime.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Start your morning at McDonald's and mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg McMuffin, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Get any two for just $5 and pair it with $1.99 any size iced coffee. Save time and order ahead in the app. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Steve Hirshhorn in the Hayde Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
We're in the Beltway Interloop northbound, pretty slow from Braddock Road up to Gallows Road, then the Interloop slows from the George Washington Parkway across the American Legion Bridge into Montgomery County to the Clara Barton Parkway. Interloop is also pretty slow from University Boulevard to I-95 in College Park, where there was an accident just reported. On the Interloop, you're also slow from Route 1 in College Park down to BW Parkway. Outer Loop from Richie Marlboro up to Route 50. Underspeed. The outer loop is also very heavy from I-95 around to Connecticut Avenue. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
We'll continue to see rain moving in as we push through this morning and into the afternoon before ending. Now, highs will occur this morning near 65 and then falling into the 50s. Tonight we'll drop to 35 outside the Beltway. We'll be a little bit colder. Saturday, sunshine upper 40s. Sunday, sunshine near 60. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stigicon, WMAL.
58 at Reagan National, John Matthews. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition? I can't.
You can't?
Not in this context.
So
I'm not a biologist.
Yeah, what is she, a biologist or something? She's not a stinking biologist. She's a Supreme Court justice. Maybe not the brightest, smartest Supreme Court justice we've ever had, but she's a Democrat. And she's a WOC. She's a WOC, and that's what the Democrats care about. She's a woman of color, a POC, a person of color, a WC, a woman of color. She's sure she doesn't know what a woman is, so really she's just OC. She's just of color. She can still be a POC, maybe not a WOC. You see, this Democrat congressman is very upset, very angry. Apparently one of his constituents died in ICE custody, and he's out there every day. Oh, he died in ICE custody. He's an illegal alien wife beater who had been arrested for beating the hell out of his wife. And the Democrats are out there. Yeah, we need more illegal alien wife beating criminals, non-English speaking Democrats. That's a pretty amazing story. That is coming up today. I have in front of me the statement put out: criminal illegal alien passes away in California hospital. And as Democrat congressman is really outraged. My constituent, he said, his constituent is in the country illegally. The Democrats want illegal aliens to vote for them because every Democrat is a criminal. And all the sinners saints, or something like that. Well, very good Friday to you, and welcome back. We are at 888-630-9625. You can dial, it's absolutely toll-free. It's a toll-free telephone call. Is there any telephone call that's not toll-free in 2026? I think they're all toll-free calls, aren't they? I think they are. Yeah, and I love this Democrat member of Congress. These people are really, they're severely mentally ill. Yes, they are. And who is it? It's Gomez, right? It's Congressman Gomez. Yeah, Congressman Gomez. Yeah, as his district, his constituents. My constituents are illegal alien gang members that beat their baby mamas. And, you know, they love illegal aliens that beat their baby mamas, don't they? We had Senator Chris Van Hollen went down to El Salvador to meet up with his buddy and have cocktails. Kilmore Abrego Garcia, who mercilessly beat his pregnant baby mama. And the Democrats are, they're in his corner, man. They're with the illegal alien gang member, baby mama beater because that's the America the Democrats are building. It's a third world beeple that the Democrats are. It's the fundamental transformation of America. They're really not on. They're not on our team. They're not on Team Civilization. No, they're not. All right, let's get to. We've got a lot going on today, and for example, one of the things that happened was late last night, early this morning. I think it was 2:30 a.m. Eastern time. The Senate passed a big bill funding some of the government, and the Democrats, they just want to make sure that we don't fund the Department of what is it? The Transportation Security Administration, ICE, and ICE can't because ICE might enforce the law as passed by Congress, and now we have a Congress that wants to make sure that we don't enforce the laws passed by them, because the Democrat Party is really 100% mentally ill. Here's the story from CNBC. Senate advances DHS funding bill, tees up House vote to end shutdown as TSA lines stretch. But they've blown the whole thing up, the Democrats have, with one of their improvised explosive devices. And they should self-immolate instead of blowing everybody else up. But they don't want us to enforce immigration law. They want open borders. They want more 18-year-old girls shot in the head by illegal aliens while walking on the beach in Chicago, right? They want more 41-year-old mothers stabbed to death by illegal aliens who had been arrested over and over and over again in Fairfax, Virginia, illegal aliens. The Democrats want more mothers of 5 in Maryland out for a walk to be raped and murdered by illegal aliens. The list is long, and the New York Times doesn't keep a list on this because they don't cover the news. But the Democrats are still fighting against civilization, and therefore Iran, the world's #1 state sponsor of terror, and not Donald Trump because of Trump derangement syndrome and all that good stuff. But the U.S. Senate, the British Broadcasting Corporation is covering it too. U.S. Senate votes to fund most of Homeland Security to end airports chaos, but ICE excluded. ICE is excluded. And see, this is the Republicans in the Senate have been saying, no, we're going to, ICE is already funded through, the eternity for years into the future. And the Democrats just want to help criminal illegal aliens to murder more. The Democrats want more murder. When you have more Democrats in charge, you get more murder. Now, the U.S. Senate has voted to end a partial 40-day government shutdown, approving funding for the Department of Homeland Security, with the exception of immigration enforcement. Sure, that's because of Democrats. The almost 6-week funding lapse has seen knock-on disruptions at U.S. airports. Security workers' salaries are paid by the Department of Homeland Security, and hundreds have quit since the shutdown began. Democrats have refused to agree to a funding deal without reforms. That means gutting the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency, but the Senate reached unanimous agreement in the early hours of Friday after stripping ICE and parts of border protection out of the measure. So this is a big victory for the Democrats. They held a gun to the baby's head, pulled back the trigger. They're shaking, quivering, sweaty claws on the trigger, and they're going to blow the whole thing up because they're the people that make IEDs and throw them at pro-American marchers, and they're just not on Team America. Around 50,000 agents at the TSA, which sits under the Department of Homeland Security, have been working without pay since February due to the Democrat shutdown. This has reduced the number turning up to work each day and enormously cut down on the number of people showing up to work, and has led to hundreds quitting because the Democrats have made it so unappealing. And the Democrats turn everything into hooey. I'll keep it clean and just say hooey. Isn't that amazing? And the TSA people calling in sick is pretty huge. At LaGuardia, 24.7% called in sick. At JFK in New York, 28.9% called in sick. This doesn't make it better. BWI, Baltimore Washington International, 29% called in sick. At Reagan Airport in Washington, D.C., 28.9% called in sick. And it gets higher and higher. In Houston, 31% called in sick. And let's see, the other Houston airport, 39.2% called in sick. Just amazing. Yes, sir. In New Orleans, 36.1% called in sick. In Atlanta, 40% of TSA called in sick. 40%. That's because they're like, what am I even doing this for? They're not paying me. I think today is supposed to be another payday. And the Democrats are making sure that nobody gets paid because they're communists and they destroy everything they touch. They're not good people. And so people not getting paid, I'd love to talk to a TSA agent. I know I've met a lot of TSA agents at airports, and which is where you might meet a lot of TSA agents, and talk to them, and very quietly, very discreetly, TSA agents, I listen to your show. Right, I listen to your show. Got to be very quiet and very discreet. And we talk, and we've had nice conversations, me and TSA people. And the Democrats are they just screw everybody. It's their job. It's what they do. Now, let's go to the soundbite number one. This is the Senate Majority Leader, the Republican in charge, Senator John Thune, and he's asked, because they were up until 2:30 a.m. voting this to get it passed. And the Democrats just want to make sure that there's more crime and more illegal alien gang members, more violence in America, because then the Democrats feel like they've really accomplished something. Senator John Thune, the Republican leader in the Senate.
Republicans funded the Department of Homeland Security piecemeal. It's not the way to fund the department, Mr. President. But we are out of time for the critical responsibilities and tens of thousands of workers currently going without pay.
I would call them employees myself. I would say employees, but I'm not a Soviet. I don't represent the Soviet Union. I don't call everybody workers of the world. Unite, go on strike. Just amazing stuff. But Thune is all, listen, there was enough. Enough is enough. So the Republicans give it okay. The Democrats don't want to fund ICE, and they're willing to burn the Capitol down and steal that plaque off the wall that they put up for the Capitol Police. See, they put up a plaque for the Capitol because January 6th, no plaque for Ashley Babbitt yet, who was shot and killed, murdered by a racist U.S. Capitol Police officer. Lieutenant Byrd, I think was his name. Probably still is his name. I'm just guessing. I don't know. Chuck Schumer is the Lizard King, and he's the one that shut down the government. He's the one that made hundreds of TSA people quit and leave the business altogether. He's the guy that just makes everything go south because he's not on our side, and he's the Lizard King. And he's Jewish, and he's closer to the Ayatollah than he is to Donald Trump, politically, culturally, ethically, everything else. And the Ayatollah's dead. They got a new one, the Gayatollah, the young Gayatollah. They got the Gayatollah. If he takes over as the Gayatollah, he's going to have to hang himself in public, which is kind of funny. I got to say. I look forward to that happening, because that'd be some funny video. And he'd have to scream Allahu Akbar while he jumped off a rooftop with a noose around his own neck that he put there himself. And come on. He's the Gayatollah. He's gay. He's the Ayatollah. The old Ayatollah didn't want his son, the Gayatollah, to become, and apparently it's because he knew his son was gay. And so we can't have a Gayatollah. That's what the Ayatollah said. And then a bomb dropped on his head from an Israeli plane, and now he's dead. Chuck Schumer is the Lizard King. He's the Democrat leader in the Senate.
Senate Democrats were clear. No blank check for a lawless ICE and Border Patrol.
No blank check.
This long overdue agreement funds TSA, the Coast Guard, FEMA, CISA, strengthens security at the border and ports of entry, and keeps Americans safe.
Now, when he says ports of entry, he doesn't mean what you think he means. He's talking about something else completely, something altogether. And, I got to tell you, we learned yesterday, and I shared the story with you, John Solomon at Just the News, with a story about Biden funneling billions, hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine, and then Ukraine was laundering the money and sending it back to Joe Biden's reelection campaign by the millions and millions of dollars. And that is not even a news story today for the people at CNN and the Washington Post and beyond. And they're just fine. The corruption has been made normal, been made perfectly normal. We send Joe Biden, the Democrats, send lots of aid to Ukraine because when Vladimir Putin saw that Joe Biden and the Democrats were in the White House, they said, well, now's our chance to invade Ukraine and take over Ukraine. The United States is nobody's home. It's just an empty Bogota. Pretty amazing stuff. And the influence peddling and the money laundering and all the rest, just amazing. Billions and billions U.S. taxpayer dollars to Ukraine. And then you discover that they're laundering the money and sending it back to the Democrats here in the United States. Isn't that great? And the New York Times doesn't discover it, and 60 Minutes doesn't discover it, but Just the News, John Solomon, who's a great longtime Washington reporter. U.S. intercepted Ukraine government messages discussing plot to route money to Biden's reelection. So we give him huge gobs of money because of the war. And we gave him money through USAID, the Agency for International Development, for clean energy. This is what the Democrats, and under the umbrella of war. So they're getting Congress to authorize money, giving money to Ukraine, huge gobs of money. You know, remember when Barack Obama sent the Iranians plane loads of cash, which they then used to murder us because the Democrat Party is a suicidal Jonestown-like death cult. Just extraordinary stuff. But then we give them all these hundreds of billions for the war with Russia, purportedly, and lots of money for clean energy because the Democrats are making the climate better by spending our money in Ukraine on a money laundering operation. And the New York Times didn't break the story, but John Solomon did, and Jerry Dunleavy on the U.S. intelligence community intercepting Ukraine, talking about their money laundering operation to send money to Joe Biden's 2024 reelection campaign. This is an extremely corrupt country that we live in because the Democrat Party is a corrupt party. And how do you think they all buy these $18 million mansions on Embassy Row where the Clintons have their house and the Obamas have their house? Never mind. It's corruption, that's how. You know, rural Americans deserve access to the very best of what our great nation has to offer, especially when it comes to health care. Across every state and in every hamlet, America's rural hospitals are the first line of defense, protecting our families, our neighbors, our loved ones. You might just be passing through. You might live there. No matter where you live, hospital care does not clock out. Every year, America's more than 5,000 hospitals care for millions of patients, providing 24/7 emergency care, delivering babies morning, noon, and night, treating cancer all days of the week, and other life-saving and, the medical care that patients rely on. Behind every one of those patients, there are, of course, doctors, nurses, caregivers working 24/7 to keep people healthy and safe. Hospitals are our community's lifelines. They also employ our neighbors and family members and keep our families healthy. But now there are some in Congress that are threatening access to that care. Tell Congress to protect patient care and keep America strong. Don't cut rural health care. Paid for by the Coalition to Strengthen America's Health Care. Yes, sir. Yeah, I got to tell you, this is a giant story. This Biden-Ukraine money laundering story is giant. And our news media is busy turning a blind eye to it. They'll never mention it at the dinner table or in their newspapers or on CNN.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Prime one-day delivery is fast. How fast are we talking?
We're talking yoga mats and fitness trackers delivered so fast you can kick off your routine tomorrow fast. We're talking weights at your door without really waiting fast. Water bottles and hydration backpacks fast and fast. Resistance bands faster than you can say feel the burn fast. More jump ropes just a hop, skip, and a jump away, aka fast. Whew. That was actually a good workout fast. Fast one-day delivery for all things fitness. It's on Prime.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Start your morning at McDonald's and mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg McMuffin, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Get any 2 for just $5 and pair it with $1.99 any size iced coffee. Save time and order ahead in the app. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is built for March. The tournament is unexpected. Rewards are guaranteed. DraftKings Sportsbook is delivering the most generous rewards in the market. With DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're not betting what might happen, you're betting what's happening. New to DraftKings? Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code HEART. That's code HEART to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets instantly, in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
The Mega Millions jackpot is getting mega huge. Head to your favorite New York Lottery retailer and grab a ticket today for your chance at a massive win. Currently over $50 million. Good luck, New York. Please play responsibly.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
Well, son, I think so, too. Now, have you thought about how you're going to finance it?
Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Looking for a night out with friends? Mohawk Casino. Great food, cold drinks, and fun on the dance floor? Mohawk Casino. The rush of the slots? Big game action? Mohawk Casino. Make your night legendary. And don't forget to document that fun time. We've got wins worth talking about. Denise won over $19,000. Donald walked away with over $13,000. Ellen took home over $12,000. And Christopher took home over $5,000. Aquasasni Mohawk Casino Resort. Your everyday escape.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Start your morning at McDonald's and mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg McMuffin, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Get any 2 for just $5 and pair it with $1.99 any size iced coffee. Save time and order ahead in the app. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon on 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
yes. The Democrats are they're a twisted bunch. They genuinely are. House Democrats clamp down on defections. Defections, can't have that. Ahead of new Iran war powers vote, the Democrats want to make sure that they trip up the United States, disadvantage the United States, advantage the Islamic Revolution in Iran. And that's because, why is that, Michael? Well, that's because they're not on our side. That's the thing about them. And who's following up in the news media?
This is the Chris Plant Show. WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 10:30. I'm John Matthews. Israel's launched a new wave of strikes and says its attacks on Iran will escalate and expand. That comes after President Trump gave Tehran more time to open the Strait of Hormuz. There have been no signs Iran's backing down, and Mr. Trump is under growing pressure to end Iran's chokehold on the strait. Stocks are falling as Wall Street tumbles today towards the finish of a fifth straight losing week, which would be the longest such streak in nearly 4 years. The Dow was off 436 points, the NASDAQ down 283, and oil prices have resumed their rise as fighting continues in the Middle East. The House expected to take up a bill today that funds most of DHS, but not ICE or the Border Patrol. The vote comes on the verge of the congressional spring break, and as TSA lines continue to struggle for millions of Americans trying to go on vacation themselves. Traffic and weather next.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Save more on the brand's Pros Trust during Lowe's Pro Savings Days. Get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Plus, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
On the outer loop of the Beltway at Connecticut Avenue, emergency roadwork blocks up to 3 right lanes in delays from 95 in College Park. In that existing delay, there was a secondary accident on the outer loop before Georgia Avenue. Elsewhere on the Beltway, the inner loop is still under speed, Braddock Road up to Gallows Road, and then again north of that from Georgetown Pike to the Clara Barton Parkway. More inner loop delays extend from 355 over to Connecticut Avenue, where the Beltway narrows briefly there. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Showers with temperatures dropping to the 40s. It is 58 at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. True Vitality Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
True Vitality Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at True Vitality Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 703-637-1222. 703-637-1222. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 703-637-1222.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Start your morning at McDonald's and mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg McMuffin, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Get any 2 for just $5 and pair it with $1.99 any size iced coffee. Save time and order ahead in the app. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Start your morning at McDonald's and mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg McMuffin, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Get any 2 for just $5 and pair it with $1.99 any size iced coffee. Save time and order ahead in the app. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
It's time to wake up to a chance to win. The Mega Millions jackpot is rising, so get a stretch in, pour yourself a cup of joe, and head to your favorite New York lottery retailer to seize the day. It's your chance to win the $55 million jackpot. Good morning and good luck, New York. Please play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call the Hope line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
Well, son, I think so too. Now, have you thought about how you're going to finance it?
Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
WMAL, making sense of mainstream media because the double standard is real. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
That rascally Democrats, right? And then they named the snowplows in Chicago after 18-year-old college girls are shot in the head and murdered by illegal aliens. They make funny snowplows about it. I assume the snowplows are going to show up at the family funeral and plow through while they throw beer bottles at them out the window, flick cigarettes, and crash into them at graveside. You know, that's they love the murder. The Democrats. Let's go to the telephones. I think I've gone to the telephones a little while. Let's go to Warren. Oh, look at this, who's calling from the Watergate Hotel in Washington, D.C. Warren, you're on the Chris Plant Show. Don't steal any Democrat documents while you're there.
No, Chris, I'm just a guest right now, but you and I spoke 20 or so years ago. I'm a Naval Academy graduate.
Uh-huh.
And the one thing that's not been mentioned, I have not heard it anywhere, is the number of veterans, Democrat veterans, in both the Senate and the House. There are 7 veterans in the Senate and 21 veterans in the House who are Democrats. And not one of them is saying, I can't stand with the party on this, I support the war. Now, this is just a historical observation. I'm not trying to draw any conclusions, but Benedict Arnold was a veteran, so that's very interesting. So that's the point I wanted to make. I've not seen any mention whatsoever of that. And the Democrats are not having this push on to recruit more veterans to run against red state candidates. So it's all nonsense. They're not veterans. There's something else that they had served in the military as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. I guess you can give the words because they get veterans benefits, but it just blows my mind that not one of them has come forward and say, we're discussing this within the party and that this war is important because all of the presidents before Trump were saying that it was existential threat to us in terms of Iran having the bomb and all of it. So that's what I wanted to say. I hope that's very interesting. I hope it starts a discussion, that listening to you people are become more aware of this, and maybe one of these days the mainstream media will cover this.
Maybe one day, we can hope, right? So, Warren, you said that not only are you staying at the Watergate Hotel, just coincidentally having nothing to do with politics or any of that. I drive by the Watergate every night pretty much on the way home. I did last night on the way home from Newsmax. After doing my Newsmax, you drive by the Watergate complex on Virginia Avenue there, going down to the Rock Creek Parkway. And it's a funny-looking building. And but it's fun and the fun history and all that. But you said you're a Naval Academy grad, so you're obviously a former Navy officer or maybe a Marine Corps officer. And
I was Navy. I served 4 years in the line.
Okay, and you're wondering what is up with that? You said there are 21 Democrats in the House of Representatives that are veterans of the United States military. Right?
And 7 in the Senate.
And 7 in the Senate, you said?
Yes, I just looked those numbers up. I've been meaning to get this word out, and then my wife's there I'm with my wife, so I thought I had a chance to look them up and call you.
Well, that's great. All right, so there are 7 Democrats in the Senate that are veterans, and there are 21 Democrats in the House that are veterans. And you're saying that not a one of them is supporting the U.S. military. Is that right?
Not one of them's come out and made any comments whatsoever, even suggesting they're supportive or not, they're not, all of it. I think there's a total of 93 veterans in both the Senate and the House. The balance from the 28, which is 21 and 7, the balance then would be Republicans.
Wow. That's fascinating. And you haven't seen a Democrat come out and say, word 1, syllable 1 about the combat that we're engaged in. And we have a great many troops and mostly Navy, but Air Force. We've got a lot of military capabilities and people in the region, and some of it, the B-2 bombers out of Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri. They fly nonstop from Missouri, drop bombs on Tehran, and then fly nonstop all the way back. That's kind of the exception. Sorry.
On that point, I've read that some B-2s may be being stationed, maybe Diego Garcia or someplace. It's been in the press, but there's speculation that some of them are flying closer in, so they don't have these long refueling runs.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to do, as you know, and we have forward deployed B-2s to Diego Garcia in the past, and Iran just fired their intermediate range missiles at Diego Garcia recently, a couple thousand miles from where they fired them inside of Iran. And they're working on extending the range of their ballistic missiles with the help of Barack Obama and John Kerry, with the help of the Democrats, funding the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. That's the Islamic Revolution in Iran. Being funded. I don't think there's a bigger funder. I don't think Russia or China have given Iran more money than Barack Obama and Joe Biden as vice president. Hillary Diane Rodham Clinton is a chief diplomat who loves bombing places. She was not much of a diplomat, that's for sure. Just ask her husband. And they funded Iran with billions and billions and billions of dollars, knowing that these monies would be used to target Israel, our ally, and the Fort Apache on the edge of Indian territory, representing civilization in that region. And the Democrats fund the terrorists. What's up with that, Warren?
Well, they're Democrats. What more can you say? I want to make a comment that came to my mind while you were speaking. I respect her very much, as Nancy Mace has now come out not supporting any land incursion into Iran, even Karg Island or whatever, but she made a thing out. She's being covered. She's a sweetheart of the Dems, of the mainstream media for this. And she's a great member of the House. But I hesitated there because I was going to say Senate, but I think she's in the House. But she was all upset because they had this briefing, and the DOD or DOW was hesitant in terms of talking anything specific about what incursions could be, whether it's on the plan. And I thought, my gosh, Nancy, you know darn well if they're making a briefing to a group of congressmen, there's someone in there, probably them, because she didn't say it was just Republicans. Someone's going to leak it the next day. So, it was like Trump's comment about leaking and Pearl Harbor. You got to keep mum on these things. And I'm sure on some of these things, it's mainly in his head. Maybe he shared some of the thoughts with Hegseth and Rubio, but a couple others at the top. But the notion that she's complaining that they weren't briefed, she should know why they weren't briefed fully on this stuff. So
she should know. Well, and also the Democrats are the Congress has been getting regular briefings from our national security leadership, and a lot of the Democrats just don't show up to the briefings, and then they go on CNN and pound the table and say they haven't been briefed when they have been invited repeatedly and blow off the briefings which are provided to them, so they can lie to everybody and whine like the cross-dressing little girls that they are.
Well, the thing is, they could attend the briefings and then it could leak some stuff too. I mean, they're missing that opportunity.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Are also restrained in terms of here's what's been done as opposed to here's what we're doing in the next 24 hours. But there you are.
The Adam Schiff plan. Yeah. Come on, get the briefings and go on CNN and lie about everything that you heard in the briefings, which is what Adam Schiff did for years.
That's the other side of the coin, too.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. That's
it's crazy times. I mean, in terms of this is a threat to the world, and the world, Europe is just laying back. It's not our war. You know, that's what they're saying, all this nonsense.
Yeah.
And
well, they're converting to Islam.
It's going to go down in this, and I hope, you know, the hope is, and you never know what tomorrow holds, all of it, but that this war is over soon, and we get entirely what our goals were, particularly with regard to disarming them and nuclear disarmament, and getting the people basically on a path to their own freedom.
That's right. Yeah, I'd like to see, and I know you'd like to see 92 million Iranians, Persians, secure a form of government that is not a threat to themselves. You know, they just murdered 33,000 to 55,000 Iranian citizens were just gunned down by their own government. And because, you know, they don't have any guns, this is what the Democrats want to do to us in the United States, make us like the population in Iran with no firearms. And, you know, I love playing the audio of the guy from the Obama administration who says that he agrees, that they all agree with Chairman Mao that all power comes from the barrel of a gun, because that's the way the left views the world.
We know this is largely about power, that it's an adults-only, no-limit game. We kind of agree with Mao that political power comes largely from the barrel of a gun.
Ron Bloom, Warren, of the Obama administration, they kind of agree with Mao that all power comes from the barrel of a gun, right? And there's... Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, as long as it's there, that's exactly right. Warren, God bless, and enjoy the Watergate. Have you been out to walk around and check out the cherry blossoms? You get out yesterday?
No, we're just here for the day, just a couple of hours.
Okay.
We got a wedding coming up. On the 11th near the State House. State Department. So
near the State Department.
Unfortunately, it's on the Wedding Blossom Day, Wedding Blossom Parade Day. So
the cherry blossom parade. Okay. That's okay. Interesting timing. All right, Warren. Well, thank you for the call. God bless. Saluting you, and good stuff. And please enjoy your stay here in our nation's capital. Because, a lot of good stuff. Now, what are the Democrats doing? They refuse to fund ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, even though it's already funded. They refused to, and they fought and they shut down the government, and they screwed over tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of U.S. government employees that are called workers. And now they're happy with themselves, and Chuck Schumer is very pleased. They really want more Americans murdered. Again, there's this story in New York today about the illegal alien that threw the 83-year-old career Air Force pilot on the tracks, the New York City subway system, and he bashed up his head. He was taken to the hospital, and he died days later. Now the illegal alien has been arrested and charged with murdering the 83-year-old man, minding his own business, standing on the subway platform when an illegal alien apparently ran up and gave him a side kick and kicked the 83-year-old man down onto the train tracks of the New York City subway, murdering him. Right? This is at the same time, I don't think we've even buried the 18-year-old college freshman at Loyola University in Chicago that was shot in the head at point-blank range by an illegal alien. And again, these people, the guy in New York who kicked the man, an 83-year-old Air Force vet in front of the train, I think he has, 15 prior arrests. And the Democrats go, well, it's his 14th arrest. Let's give him one more chance. And then he murders this 83-year-old man, and the Democrats genuinely don't care. They care very deeply about George Floyd, who is a career criminal junkie resisting arrest who died of a heart attack because of all the fentanyl and methamphetamine in his system. And the Democrats want to make his name a national holiday because they're mentally ill. Now, Here's a crazy thing. There's a big Democrat county just outside of Washington, D.C. It borders Washington, D.C. and Maryland. Prince George's County. Don't call it PG County because that'd be racist, you racist. Prince George's County Public Schools introduces policy that allows shelter-in-place protocol if ICE is on school grounds. Now, this is a crime-ridden county, a county where there are massive numbers of fatal drug overdoses, shootouts, gangs, and here's what they've got going on. The Prince George's County Public School Board of Education announced a policy during a press conference Thursday that would limit the presence of immigration enforcement on school property. So they're protecting illegal aliens. How many of them are, almost all of them are child molesters, aren't they? Isn't that true? The policy would allow principals, who are all mentally ill leftists, to initiate shelter-in-place protocols, like there's a terrorist attack or a tornado, because Immigration and Customs Enforcement might be enforcing the law as passed by Congress. The Democrat Party does it. Allow shelter in place of immigration enforcement is within 1,000 feet of school property, right? 5,280 feet, so it's practically a quarter mile. So if there's a vehicle, an ICE vehicle, we're all going to shelter in place. It's about a quarter of a mile away, blocks down the street. The bill also reinforces that immigration enforcement operations are prohibited on school grounds. There's no law on school grounds, just a sanctuary for illegal alien gang members, most of whom are child molesters. And the Democrats want to make sure they have access to schools, and that school security staff should not engage in immigration enforcement activities. They want more crime. This is what they want. Just extraordinary stuff. This comes as U.S. Immigration Customs Enforcement activity has increased throughout the country, not in PG County, since President Donald Trump returned to office last year. Prince George's County Public Schools officials say this has created fear among students and families in Prince George's County. They should probably all be arrested and deported if they're suffering from fear. The Democrats create this panic, this fear, because of their mental illness. Just extraordinary stuff. I got to tell you, you guys are very unwell, the Democrat Party. Very, very unwell. What's this meme going around on the internet? You seen this meme about liberalism? Liberalism, the religion of self-hatred. I've got that coming up.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Start your morning at McDonald's and mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg McMuffin, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Get any two for just $5 and pair it with $1.99 any size iced coffee. Save time and order ahead in the app. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
Well, son, I think so too. Now, have you thought about how you're going to finance it?
Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, is built for March. The tournament is unexpected. Rewards are guaranteed. DraftKings Sportsbook is delivering the most generous rewards in the market. With DraftKings, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're not betting what might happen, you're betting what's happening. New to DraftKings? Bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code HEART. That's code HEART to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets instantly in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. On behalf of Blue Hill Casino in Kansas, wager tax pass-through may apply in Illinois. 21 and over in most states. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. Limited time offer.
Morning people wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Start your morning at McDonald's and mix and match a sausage McMuffin with egg McMuffin, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles. Get any two for just $5 and pair it with $1.99 any size iced coffee. Save time and order ahead in the app. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at regular price.
Imagine having complete clarity about your health, not just test results, but a clear plan built around you. Today, body scans and lab tests are easy to access, but true peace of mind comes from understanding what they mean and what to do next.
At Princeton Longevity Center, we go beyond testing to deliver clarity, strategy, and physician-led care designed to help protect and extend your life.
Our patients work directly with board-certified physicians specializing in preventive and longevity medicine, not algorithms, not generic reports.
But real doctors who understand your history, your risks, and your goals.
Yes, we use advanced imaging and comprehensive diagnostics.
But what truly matters is what comes next.
We interpret the results,
connect the dots, and deliver a physician-led, personalized plan you can act on with confidence.
Because information alone doesn't change outcomes.
Insight does.
At Princeton Longevity Center, your care doesn't end with a test.
It begins there.
Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com. That's 888-8000-PLC.
If your patio, sidewalk, or driveway is cracked or uneven, if you've tripped or fallen as a result, or if you're worried about the liability of an uneven surface on your property, American Concrete Services can quickly help. Don't pay the high cost to tear out and replace your sidewalk, patio, driveway, or pool deck. American Concrete Services has an economical solution which can raise and stabilize your existing concrete at a fraction of the cost of full replacement. They're environmentally friendly structural foam. With structural foam lifting, there's no heavy equipment to cause damage to your property and no loud noises from jackhammering. Best of all, most repairs can be completed in just one day. Have your entire patio, sidewalk, or driveway safe and level again. No job is too big or small. Call American Concrete Services now for your free estimate at 240-665-5665. That's 240-665-5665. Again, 240-665-5665. Licensed in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. MHIC 140530.
WMAL, making sense of the border, because laws either matter or they don't. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Yeah, meme I got. I saw it somewhere this morning. I was going through a lot of stuff, as I do. Liberalism is a religion of self-hatred. It teaches white people to hate their race, teaches boys to hate their sex, women to hate their femininity. Men have to hate their toxic masculinity too. Americans to hate their country, Westerners to hate their history. What a loathsome, poisonous thing it is. That's true. That sums it up pretty well. Let's go back to the telephones. Let's go to, this is great. This is wonderful. Let's go to David calling from Charleston, South Carolina. David, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Chris. It's always a pleasure to listen to you every day. And I want to apologize for Jerome, who called from Charleston yesterday, to show you how stupid people are. He must be from Clyburn's district.
We did have Jerome call in from Charleston, South Carolina yesterday, and he was not the most enlightened caller that we've ever had, was he, David?
No, he wasn't. He really made us look stupid. And I can tell you right now, there are not stupid people in Charleston, South Carolina. They're all for Trump and Trump alone. And I got one message for Congress. Get off your ass. Let's get something done.
That's good advice, I think, for Congress, and we should put that on a plaque on Capitol Hill. Get up your ass and get something done. But for those that missed Jerome yesterday, Jerome called in, and I saw we got a liberal on the line, and I was saying, I think earlier yesterday, liberals just stopped calling in because they have to try to form a sentence and a thought, and that's always too challenging for them. And then Jerome called in, and I said, we got a liberal on the line. Let's go to Jerome. And I just kind of let him talk, and he was almost the perfect Democrat, wasn't he, David?
Yes, he was. He definitely was a Democrat, and I bet he don't want to show his ID when he votes.
I bet he doesn't want to show his ID when he votes either. He probably says he can't vote. He's like Mika Brzezinski. He doesn't know where he was born or when, and doesn't know where to find any IDs. He was something, and we're all God's children, even Jerome. But it was funny, I thought, putting Jerome on yesterday just to let him talk, because Democrats, David, we need to hear from Democrats.
Yes, we do. Let them show us how true American you are.
Yeah, amazing, amazing stuff. Yeah, and they want more illegal aliens and no IDs and no gender and men competing against women in the Olympics. We need to declare it membership to be a mental illness.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 11. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews.
I have to go.
Expected to take up the funding bill that would restore pay to TSA workers.
I have
today.
to go.
How is that impacting security lines at airports now? Your mileage may vary. The wait at BWI over 2 hours this morning.